is here, a brilliant stage and screen actress, recently picked up an Academy Award for her performance in Shakespeare in Love. Take a look.
Can a play show us the very truth and nature of love? I bear witness to the wager and will be the judge of it as occasion arises. I've seen nothing to settle it yet. Are no more fireworks? They will be soothing after the excitements of Lady Viola's audience. Have her then, but you're a lordly fool. She's been plucked since I saw her last, and not by you. It takes a woman to know it.
Please welcome Dame Judi Dench. How are you?
I'm fine.
Lovely to meet you.
And you?
Would you like the footstool?
Yes, I would.
Okay, ready? Here it comes. Here it comes.
Oh, it's excellent.
Isn't that lovely?
Yes, we take off soon.
Yes, we do. Buckle your seatbelt.
Yes, quite.
Now, shall I call you Dame Judi?
No, certainly don't call me Dame. No, just Judy will do.
Just Judy.
I have a lot of, you know, I'm Mrs. Williams.
Yeah.
Or I'm Miss Dench. Or
yeah.
I'm Dame Judy. And sometimes I'm Dame Dench, which is very, very jokey. I'm called anything, really.
When they told you were going to be damed, where were you? How'd you hear?
Well, they sent a letter, and the letter was very official-looking. And when I looked at it, I thought it was some kind of tax return or some kind of ghastly thing that I had to fill in. And so I just stuffed it in my bag. I didn't look at it for a couple of days, and then I looked at it suddenly. I was at the National at the time, looked at it in the middle of a matinee. And there it was. Gave me a terrible turn.
Yes, and they said, show up at the castle, we want to dame you.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes, and I did, and there were, it's the equivalent of a knight.
Right.
So there were 7 men who were being made knights, and there was me, and we were all put in a room together. And one of these men was rather nervous, and he said to the sergeant-at-arms, he said, may I please smoke? And the sergeant-at-arms said to him, no, but you may play the piano, he said.
Was it a nerve-wracking experience? Did you have aspirations of becoming a dame?
No, I had no aspirations at all of it. It wasn't nerve-wracking. They put you very much at your ease, and it's just very pleasant. What was the good thing was that it was the same day as all the people were knighted and given awards for the Zeebrugge disaster of the thing that went over, you know, the what's it called, that boat that goes between the two, the ferry.
The ferry boat.
Yes, and so that was wonderful. That was lovely.
And how do they choose who gets knighted and damed?
I don't know.
You don't? No.
No, I don't know.
They just say, we like you, you live here, you were born here, you're doing good, come on over.
Yes.
Give me a curtsy, boom, boom, you're it. Pretty much.
That's about it, really, yes.
Well, I'm so happy to meet you. I've adored you in every movie, and your eyes are so startlingly blue. Really gorgeous, distractingly blue.
Yes, the teeth aren't too good, though, in Shakespeare in Love, are they?
Oh, and here they're
I thought it was appalling that Imelda Staunton gave Gwyneth Paltrow that little stick to do her teeth with, and nobody had thought of giving it to the Queen, had they?
No. Did you like
rough, I thought.
Did you like Whoopi's entrance as the Queen in the Academy?
Well, yes, except that we missed it.
What do you mean?
Because we were such a long time getting there. We were in a traffic jam. And therefore, when it came to the moment of it opening, we weren't in our seats even.
Really?
We were locked outside.
Oh, God. Did you have to run down the aisle in the midst of it?
No, we were kept right outside. They said, you'll be able to go in a minute. So eventually we did. It was all right.
Were you nervous, Academy Award night?
No, I didn't think there was any reason to be.
You thought you were not going to win?
No, I did.
You thought you were going to win?
No, I did think I was not going to win.
You thought you were not going to win? Who did you think would win? Did you have a pick?
I thought it would be Lynn.
Lynn Redgrave? Yes.
I did.
So when they called your name...
Or I also saw Rachel Griffiths, who I also thought was absolutely wonderful.
Yes, she was brilliant as well. But you were great. You couldn't take your eyes off you. You made a joke or a little comment about how you were only in for 8 minutes. Is that true? Was it really 8 minutes?
About that.
About 8 minutes.
Yes.
But it was 8 brilliant minutes. It was very compelling.
Also beautifully written, do you know? I didn't really have to do anything. I mean, I just got... You could have sent the costume on, you know, and the wig and all. Because once I got into all that 4 hours later, you know, longer. I mean, it took me longer to get ready than it did for the whole film to be shown.
Right, right.
And once I was in it, I couldn't do anything. I had to spend the whole time sitting like this.
Could you sit in
fed
it? Yeah, you could sit.
Dropping off.
You couldn't. You could sit. You didn't have to stand the whole time.
No, I just used to be propped up for the rest of the day.
Now, in Mrs. Brown, that film was shot really, really quickly, wasn't it?
In 30 days.
30 days.
In November in Scotland. And if anyone knows November in Scotland, it's, you know, it's not conducive to filming, really. It's raining and very, very dark, and we had a wonderful time.
What a great movie that was. Was that one of your favorite films you've been in?
Yes.
Do you have favorites, or do you think they're all...
I don't see a lot of them.
You don't? You don't go to the movies and watch yourself?
No. Not
Ever?
if I can help it.
Because
I
why?
haven't seen Wrong with a View.
You
I
haven't?
Well, you know how frightening it is to hear your voice on... if you hear a tape recording of your voice, your first instinct is to say, that's not my voice. I don't sound like that at all. Because from inside, you don't sound like that, do you?
Except for you have a very distinguished, proper British accent. It's not like me. I sound like Sylvester Stallone on a bad day. I can understand me not wanting to hear this on that, but it's so lovely and sort of British. I would hear your voice and think, oh, I sound divine, you know? Do you mind, do you watch the dailies when you see a movie? Do you look at yourself?
No, never, never, never. I would never do the next day. Never. I just don't like it at all.
Do you watch the James Bond films when do you go to the movie to see those?
I do go and see them.
Yeah.
Because I'm a fan of them.
Yeah.
I was a fan long before I was in them. And my husband wouldn't forgive me if I didn't go.
Now, is it true that when you were nominated last year for Mrs. Brown, you thought, I read something that you said about being the only one there without plastic surgery, which I love.
Yes, the only one there without a facelift.
Right. You were worried.
Well, I did. I felt it this year as well. This is real chocolate.
It sure is. Would you like some? Do you enjoy an Oreo?
Mesmerized.
Yes, and it smells nice, doesn't it?
It smells absolutely wonderful.
Would you like an Oreo?
No, thank you.
No. Do you enjoy Oreos?
I've never had one. I'll have one for later.
You've never had an Oreo ever?
No, we don't have those. We don't have those.
Oh, can I show you a little something about an American little culture here?
You can.
There's a lot of ways to eat an Oreo. You can twist and then scrape. I don't like that way. You can bite, also not my favorite, or you can dunk. Wait until the bubbles stop. See the bubbles in there? The bubbles come up. That means it's fully saturated when the bubbles stop. And when the bubbles stop, dame, then you suck all the milk out. And it's like a combination. They're very good. You want me to get you some milk during the commercial? You can try.
I'll just leave it.
You'll just leave it, okay. I actually got Juliana Margulies to eat a Twinkie. I thought Dame Judi Dench with an Oreo. That would be 2 in 1 week. All right, don't go away. We're going to take a break, and we're going to talk about Amy's View, the new play that Dame Judi Dench is in at the Ethel Barrymore Theater. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Still ahead from Caroline in the City, Malcolm Getz.
No one should think themselves wiser than me. It is not for any of the Queen's subjects to presume to tell Her Majesty when and where she should come out of mourning. It is the Queen's sorrow that keeps her secluded. It is an overwhelming amount of work and responsibility. Work that she feels will soon wear her out entirely.
Your Majesty.
Is it not enough that she is uncheered and unguided? That she should also have to suffer these malicious rumors?
Dame Judi Dench and Mrs. Brown. If you haven't seen it yet, definitely go rent it. What a great movie that was. Billy Connolly. How fun is he? He's such a nice guy.
He's the best. He's just the best. Because when I was asked to do it, they said, how do you feel about playing Queen Victoria? It wasn't actually that baited me. It was the fact that Billy Connolly was going to play John Brown.
Yeah, and what a great story, too.
And I was his second choice.
Who was the first?
Bob Hoskins. He wanted to play Queen Victoria. He'd once seen him at the Edinburgh Festival. And he thought that was the best. So I'm Bob Hoskins' understudy. That's
right.
Fine, fine.
Fine with you.
Fine.
It would have been like The Crying Game meets Mrs. Brown, sort of, all into one. Well, you're back on Broadway after a very long absence. How long has it been between shows?
1958. I was here last.
1958.
Yes, 40 years.
And why have you stayed away so long?
Because I had such a I was with the OVIC, and I had such a wonderful time. A really incredible time. We were 6 months in America, and it was so really incredible that when I went home, I thought it'll never be like that again. It'll never come up to that expectation, you know,
Right.
again. And then 2 years ago, when I had to come here for Mrs. Brown, when it was shown here, I fell in love with New York all over again.
And hadn't you been back in between?
No.
At all?
No.
Wow.
I'd always said no.
So that's so funny. And then you decided to do this, when you heard they were taking the show to New York, you said yes right away.
Yes, then I said to Richard, if you'd like to go, and David Hare, I'd like to go with it.
Now, you did it over in London as well?
We did it at the National, and then it was taken into town to the Aldwych, yes.
And is it the same cast here in New York as was
It's
in...
3 of us. Sam Bond and Ronnie Pickup and I are the original cast. And then we had 3 really great American actors. We've got Anne Petoniak, we've got Tate Donovan, and we've got Madiga Steady. And they're just knockout.
I love Tate Donovan. He's a cutie patootie, isn't he?
Yes, he certainly is.
Yeah. What's the story about in this play called Amy's View, which opens on the 15th of April?
It's about a lot of things. It's about the theatre and whether the theatre is finished, dead. It's about a mother and daughter relationship. And it's about the turns and twists that love takes. That's some of the things it's about. It's about a lot more as well.
Are you more nervous doing theatre than you are doing a film, or is it equally intimidating in some ways?
I'm frightened about both.
I heard that you had threatened to quit or tried to quit this show a few...
I did. When we started rehearsing this show, 3 weeks in, when I thought I'd done all my homework, I get to rehearsal the next morning and not know a word of it. So I got into a panic and went to Richard Eyre and said, I think you better release me from this. I can't do it. So he said a most marvellous thing, which brought me to my senses. He said, are you losing your memory? He said. And I got such a severe shock. I said, is it going to happen like that? One day I'll remember something, and the next day I'm not. That's what it's going to be like. And so then I used to get... my husband is meticulous about learning lines. He goes home and properly sits down and learns. But I have always thought I could do it like a form of osmosis, that I would just take it in, you know, like plants take in the sun. Well, it didn't happen that way at all. So I used to go home and I used to run myself a bath, and I got into the bath, and I wasn't allowed to get out of the bath till I knew 3 pages. I mean, however cold the bath got, I had to know 3 pages. Well, it worked.
It did?
Amazingly, it worked.
Did you add up new hot water, or you just left it?
No, just left it.
Just left it, yeah.
That was part of the threat.
You're far more disciplined than I. Well, I cannot wait to see it. I really can, and it opens on the 15th. Go see it at the Ethel Barrymore Theater. I just want to say, you are divine. I absolutely love meeting you, and I really do. I know you don't like people to gush. I'm assuming because you're British, you don't like people to gush. Is that true? You don't like...
Yes, but it makes your day.
Well, in that case, you're delicious and divine. And please, just take it and eat it later.
I will.
All right. Dame Judi Dench, Amy